Hey everyone, let's take a look at some Rowing Blazers slash Seiko collab models that just came out recently. Now, I have to apologize to anyone who's subscribed. It's been quite a while since I've made a video, but I have an excuse. I got married, and so we took some time off. And despite that, though, the watches haven't stopped flowing, so I have a bunch of videos that I need to make. Firstly, I think this is pretty cool. They sent it with this little mailer and all these stickers, and this handwritten note, enjoy, from the Rowing Blazers team. I bought one of these directly from Rowing Blazers and the other directly from Seiko. If you haven't heard of Rowing Blazers, that's completely expected. They are a clothing brand that focuses on, how to say, modern preppy wear or something. Honestly, the kind of clothes that I wore back in high school a long time ago. I would have been wearing their stuff if I were 20 years younger. The brand started in 2017 and features a lot of colors and sort of that zigzaggy line there that's on a lot of their stuff. Some of the stuff is pretty loud and pretty out there, and that includes their watches. In 2021, Rowing Blazers did a collaboration with Seiko. They had 3 special versions of the 5KX. And they sold out pretty quickly once people realized how special they were. The dials in those were kind of pedestrian, but the bezels were really crazy and strange. And they're back, this time with 4 different models, Rowing Blazers. And this time, they're playing off of the so-called Dress KX. And they came out with 4, and I bought 2 of them, as you see here. We have this lime green dial variant, really kind of special, and this rainbow variant here. So unlike the previous collaboration where the fun was in the bezel, this time the fun's in the dial, and we're getting some of that Rowing Blazers charm. So, how to say, quick wrist check. This is the next video. This is also a really cool special Seiko. This is that sort of collage version of the 5KX. Let's take that off. So, maybe we'll go into this one first. This one sold out in like 15 minutes, and I knew that was going to happen, and I think it's really special. This uses all of those popular Rowing Blazers colors, and I think it's it's pretty cool. Each index is paired up. You have 2 pink, 2 red. The brown index, though, doesn't have a counterpart, so there's kind of clever, half as much brown. So yeah, these are based off of these Dress KX models. Terrible name. This is not a dress watch. This is a sports watch. I love this watch. It's been on my channel, made plenty of cameos. I just think the size is perfect. The design is just great. I have it on a leather strap now. I actually have another one of these coming in the mail. But the Rowing Blazers variant doesn't mention anywhere on the listing, but this one has a domed crystal with some really fun distortion. Let's get this, the existing one. This is, I think, the SRPJ61, and that is a flat crystal. And you see, not a signed crown. And on the Rowing Blazers edition, they did a really good job with this fun distortion domed crystal and a signed RB crown. Pretty cool. Now it comes on, so this rainbow version, what is that? That's the SRPJ63, and it comes on a bracelet, but it also comes with a NATO strap. I feel like the NATO strap's pretty good quality. Seiko gets lambasted quite a bunch for their straps, but I feel like this is fine, and it has this wonderful rainbow pattern. I've kind of learned to not love NATO straps quite so much anymore, so I have to see what I wind up doing with this. As you see, I kind of just got it out of the packaging. I did want to do a quick check. Does this have a... Come on. Does this have a... Oh, I'll rip it, fine. No. So the bracelet on this isn't signed or engraved or anything. It's the standard Seiko 5 bracelet, and these are not known to have the best quality. They look like they're solid links, but you can kind of tell, if I get that just right, that that's actually one piece of metal that's been folded. It's not the end of the world. But I think if you've been around watches for long enough and you kind of set high standards for yourself, this is kind of a basic bracelet. You see the end links are hollow and the clasp is pressed. That doesn't bother me too much. But I have to see how I'm going to wear this. But the dial on this, that's the special thing. So the person who owns Rowing Blazers, or at least the lead designer, I think, is also a watch enthusiast and has some vintage Seikos. Is a big Seiko fan. Actually, I think Rowing Blazers sells other watches from other brands, like actual vintage watches. Pretty cool. This watch is based off of a Seiko from the 60s. That other watch is a dive watch. That one only had 70 meters of water resistance. Things have changed. This is 100 meters of water resistance. But that watch that this is based off of actually has an internal rotating bezel. That's what, if you see that pip right here, and you see the numbers here. I think on that original watch, the crown in its base position rotates the bezel. But it looks not too different from this. It has the offset crown. I think it's a pretty good homage given the fact that it's hard to make a brand new case for a collaboration model. But you see other little details. The candy cane second hand, that's distinct to Rowing Blazers. And you have, let's get a good look. You have a spooky skeleton on the back that says temp this. I read somewhere what that means, but that escapes me right now. But that's their logo and that's their slogan. And let me just see. Yeah, that's on the underside. So that's, you get a good look? Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. When they customize multiple things, they have a custom back, custom second hand, custom dial. Other little details, the date frame is also from that vintage Seiko. And this has a Japanese kanji date wheel, which was something they were pretty adamant about. Pretty cool. All right, so if anyone, I don't know if you've ever seen a watch that has indices like this. On this one, because it's all rainbow colored, you might not really understand what's going on, but there's a lot of watches, 60s and 70s, that had these large square indices, and what's colored on this would normally be glossy. I've seen plenty from a couple of different brands, certainly Seiko, certainly Citizen. This is, I would say, the safe watch that I got. I don't mean I'm keeping it in a safe. I mean, I don't think it's too risky. It plays with color a little bit, but I think you can wear this anywhere. It's a fun watch. The risky watch that I got was this guy right here. There's 4 variants, as I mentioned, including an orange dial one and a nice sky blue dial. I kind of like the sky blue one the most, but I wanted to get one safe choice and one weird. And this is certainly the weirdest of the bunch. You know, if you want an orange dial watch, you can get one. I actually have a couple. There's plenty of watches out there with a nice blue dial. Baby blue, Tiffany blue, sky blue. Not a lot of lime green dial watches out there. That's why I picked this one up. And certainly this watch here sold out in like 15, 20 minutes. And this one took a couple of days. This was the last one to sell out. In fact, I think if you're trying to look for any of these 4 colorways, orange, blue, green, or that rainbow one, this is probably the only one you're going to find. Certainly strange, certainly weird, but you know what? I really dig it. I didn't give dimensions and stuff. I apologize for that. I think these are, well, the base one is 11 something millimeters, but because of the domed crystal, these are going to be thicker. So let's find out. Yeah, so we're at 13 and a half. That sounds crazy to me. I think when you're doing these measurements, you got to just ignore the crystal. Yeah, so normally these are like 11 and a half, 12. This brings it up to 13, but that's not thickness that you really feel or see. Let's try to put these on the wrist. Oh, if you want the other dimensions, I'm already running a little long, so I'm just not going to give you those numbers. You got to look them up. Sorry. I work full time. This is just something I do in my free time, so... and I don't review watches. These are just overviews. I think that looks so crazy. That's fun. and weird. The one nice thing about these, they came in these wonderful little tins that you saw, and they each come with these NATOs. So this one comes with this purple strap. Honestly, that's a little Jokerish for me. Maybe if you're a fan of the Joker, this is the watch to get. But it's nice, and these colors definitely work with each other, but they worked for the Joker too. So I'll wear that purple strap on a different watch. But that's fun. That's just silly. I like it, and well, hopefully I paid $500. So that's probably the one thing that I would say. If there's any downside to these watches, these are still Seiko 5s, but the MSRP is $495. Now, I get it. A special edition is going to cost a little bit more. You're going to have an upcharge for it. But, gee golly, I think this guy right here, I think the MSRP on this is $250, $295, but the street price is, I think I paid $177. And then a couple days later, the price dropped, and I went back to the store, and I got a store credit for like $7. This is a fantastic deal. This is a fantastic value. I love these watches, and I think they should get more attention. I honestly like 8 of the colorways of this. This is just a great watch. So when I saw that Rowing Blazers was back with this awesome watch and these bright colors, that's just my thing. So I had to pick up 2. I would have picked up all 4, but not at $500 each. That's crazy. Despite that being crazy, I picked up 2. That's $1,000. And you can get amazing watches for $500, and they're not Seiko 5s with these cheap bracelets. I kind of would have preferred if they just didn't come on the bracelet and they just came on the strap. And I'm also not one for collectible tins and collectible cards and stuff. Yeah, that's my only gripe, but you know what? It worked, right? They sold out, so they priced them appropriately for the market, so you can't really complain about that. Also, these are probably going to go up in value. The original 3 Rowing Blazers, they went up in value too. They're trading for 2 or 3 times the price. What else did I want to mention? Yeah, one other thing. This series, apparently they made 8 different variants, and they've only released 4 with this batch. So sometime next year, there's going to be another 4. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to go through. If you wanted details on this and the movement and everything, I would look for any review on the Dress KX, the poorly named Dress KX. But I just wanted to showcase the dial here. Hopefully I have it nice and focused, and I'm moving it around just enough, but not too much for people. It's really hard to get a sense of things. Oh, Lume, yeah. Oh yeah, you see on this one, all the indices are colored, and that colored paint kind of covers up what would be really shiny, reflective bits on this guy. Let's get to... Again, I apologize. I can't make it black in here because I'm right by a window. But I can shine a UV light on and you can kind of see what gets loomed up. The hands are loomed. The second hand, the counterweight. But you also have that bright index, which would normally be rotating on the original that this is borrowing, but it's fixed. And you have these pretty nice Lume bright. Yeah, really cool. As much as I like that rainbow one, I gotta say, this one is just so bizarre and really stands out. I kind of like it the most. I was a little regretful that I didn't get the blue one, but that's fading away. This is, if you have 3 watches in your collection, this is probably not one of the 3. But if you have 30 watches, yeah, maybe there's room for a lime green watch in your collection. And if you're going to get a lime green watch, I think this is the one to get. Okay, I think we've run very long here, and I feel like I've been speaking very quickly. So I guess that's that. Yeah, I'd like to hear your opinions. And I forget to ask, subscribe if you like the way I present things and you like my voice and whatever. Comment. Tell me what you think about this. Give me some suggestions. All right. Thank you very much.